It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel where I am QuameshaB
and I am QuamikaB, and together we are
QB2. Today's video is called Wind Down With Us. For you all that do not know what that is, that just means that we're going to talk about a specific topic and sip on some wine. And today's choice of wine is Quamika's choice, Stella Rosa Pineapple. I've never had this.
I never tried it either.
So we're going to try it. Let's try it first.
I like the fact that they took the corks out of the Stella Rose because
so much better.
They used to be hell trying to get that cork out of the Stella Rose, y'all. Not too much. It's still kind of early.
Never too early for mine. Let me smell it.
Cheers before we sip.
Okay. I don't really taste the pineapple though.
It's a little tart.
I don't taste the pineapple.
Does it say tarty thing?
Now that you said that, yeah.
If you're familiar with their wines, they have some very sweet wines. It's a little bit on the tart side.
Probably because it's pineapple.
Probably. That's what I'm thinking. So, not too bad, y'all. But anyway. So, that's the choice of wine, and the topic that we're going to be talking about is,
would you get back with your ex if you found out they was having a baby?
Or would you date someone that was having a baby? So basically, would you date someone that you just met, knowing that they have someone out there that's actually pregnant with a child? Right. Would you do it?
Like you started dating, you started talking to somebody, you started dating, then they say, well, you know, there's something I gotta tell you. I'm about to have a baby in like 3
it
or
was
4
before
months.
They met you, you know. Would you date them? Would you still continue to date them?
Or you and your ex kind of like broke up, and then y'all was like, well, we're gonna rekindle this little fire, and then they found out they having a baby and they had to tell you.
Baffling, you know, just somebody that they was messing with when y'all was broken up. But I don't know. We did do a poll on our Instagram asking you guys these questions. This was a few weeks back.
Yeah. But before we get to the answers of the poll, don't forget to like our video and subscribe to this, and then put on your post notifications so you are notified every time we upload another video.
And without further ado, let's jump right into our commentary. Let's get into these questions and answers and how we feel. All right?
Before we answer the poll, we're gonna explain to you all how we got this topic. If anybody know, you watch a TV show called Insecure.
If y'all don't know what Insecure is, where y'all been?
Y'all missing it.
Yes.
But at the end of season 4, the last episode, that's where it all came about. But before we get to that part, let's go back. Issa and Lawrence had dated for several years. Issa cheated, so they broke up. They moved out. They went their separate ways. Mm-hmm. So then they was able to date whoever they wanted to. Fast forward, I guess sometime in this season, Lawrence decided he wanted to see if things could work out between him and Issa. What was the real issue
before they started working things out? Though he was dating. She was dating.
She was dating.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think he was in more. Well, no, they were both dating.
Yeah.
So he wanted to
see what happened between them. What was the real issue between them?
Because a question came to him basically saying, if she had never cheated on him, where would they be? Would they still be together?
Right.
Because they were in a long committed relationship.
Exactly.
So I guess that just played a part into why he really wanted to try to rekindle things with her.
Yeah. It started off with him trying to figure out what was the biggest issue in their relationship, mm-hmm. why she cheated. And then it just went, okay, they started seeing each other, bonding, and they was working on actually being back together, right? So then, they had spent time together, and all of a sudden the girl that he was dating while he was broken up with Issa told him that she found out she was pregnant and she wanted to keep the baby. Now, he didn't want the baby.
He didn't want to be back with her, and he did not want the baby.
Right, because they had broken up, of course.
Right.
So he's like, okay, well, we hadn't been together that long. You sure you want to keep this baby? And I'm pretty sure he was thinking in his mind, like, I'm trying to get back on my ex, and now
That's
a baby's
ruin it.
gonna ruin it.
Right.
So he had to go and break the news, and then he was trying to move because he had a new position.
He was gonna move out of the country. Yep.
Yeah. So he went and told Issa, like, okay, this is what's going on. I just found out that I'm getting ready to have a baby. And Issa's face was
mind you, this woman decided to keep this baby, okay, y'all? Mind you, she decided to keep the baby. She told him she didn't want anything from him, that she just literally wanted to keep this baby. Mind you, she was actually married before him and got a divorce and actually decided to date him and have a baby by a complete stranger, which is very mind-boggling to me. But anyway, he broke the news to Issa, like you were saying.
Yeah, he broke the news to Issa, and Issa was just like, so what does this mean for us? And they never gave us an answer. So it was just like, we kind of left up in the air until the new season comes.
Until the new season comes. So that's what we come in at with our commentary today.
Right.
So that's why we asked you guys those 2 questions on the polls on our Instagram. If you all are not following our Instagram, we'll leave our Instagram info here. We have our combined Instagram and we have our own individual Instagram. Right. But go over, support, show us some love. Show us some love. But that's how we got our questions. And basically, how do you think the poll went before we jump into our opinion?
I think the poll went well. Most of the people probably was just like, from what they read, like,
no. So, most of the people said no, they wouldn't do it.
I had
no question.
Yeah, some people was like no, and hell no.
Right, like the answer was no. But
somebody even asked me like, "Are you serious?"
Right,
like, that was a serious question.
Yeah, like a common sense answer. Like, but we still wanted to know
because not everybody thinks like that.
Exactly. So that's what we come in with our commentary. So I'm going to give you guys my opinion on what I think, and then Misha's going to do her opinion of what she thinks.
Right.
So basically, the first question was, would I get back with an ex? Or would I still continue to date my ex knowing that he has a baby out there? Now that we're in the, 21st century? We're in the 21st century? Mostly everybody has children. That's just plain and simple. Mostly everybody has children. It's kind of mostly rare. Everybody has baby mama, baby daddy baggage.
I hate that word.
I hate the word, but that's just honest, being very honest. Everyone has that baggage. Now, you do have some great co-parents, and you have some very childish co-parents, where I would consider the childish ones as not co-parenting at all. But my opinion, if you really, really, really love a person, and you decide that you're all in, okay? Something like that would not be able to come between you if you really have that bond, that relationship, that love established for one another. There's nothing that can break that. So my partner having a child with someone else, and we decided, okay, we're going to get back together, we're going to work on things, this is what we really want to do, and me finding that out midway through us like literally working on it, I mean, it would be a damper on the rekindling of our love for each other. I'm talking about him being an ex. There would be a damper on it, but you got to remember all the good times you all had and what was the main reason for you all getting back together and trying to rekindle that. So you got to think about all those things before that thing came into place. So I'm looking at it as, okay, if I really love this person, for you to even go back to someone, you know that there's got to be something there. Just my opinion. Right. There has to be something there for you to go back, because normally when you break up with someone, you break all ties, they go about their business. I'm not getting back with an ex. But for me to choose to do that, it has to be something there for me to say, you know what, I'm going to try this again. You get what I'm saying? And if I'm going to try that again,
to even have that thought,
that means that there was something there. So for me to think that, I would not let him, or that situation damper on what we have, unless, he just put it out there like, you know what, I think I want to try working it out with her. I mean, we would really literally have to sit down and literally have to lay it all out on the table. Because for me to go in a second round with this person, we got to make it plain. We got to make it clear. We got to communicate. There's things that got to change and have to be different in order for this to work. So it can work, It's just all about your preference and all about your feelings and all about the work you're willing to put in with that relationship for it to work. Because a lot of people feel like, oh no, that wouldn't work. I'm not getting back with somebody and I already got to come back in with baggage. I mean, if you want to make it work, you will. And if you don't, you don't. It's all about you and what you are willing to do, or you know, the work you're willing to put in. So it can work. Personally, I can see both ends of both ends on it. Yes and no. But you can't really say what you would do unless you're in that situation. Pretty much.
It is hard.
It's very hard to think outside looking in rather than being in it looking, out on it. So I look at it as, well, I would literally have to be in this situation to know my honest review or, my point about it. But I mean, I say yes and no to that question. Just plain and simple. And would I date someone? Would I date someone that's
about to have a baby?
That's about to have a baby? I'm honestly going to say no. Only because dating someone you're not really committed.
And that's somebody new.
That's somebody new that's probably, because I consider new 3 months, 6 months, you know what I'm saying? So to me, 6 months and under is still new. So whether we at our 5th month mark and you decide, oh yeah, I got a girl pregnant and she's 6 months, so that was a month before me, we still new. I don't think that I can do that, because at the end of the day, we're really not committed. There's still a possibility that you can want to try to make your family work. Even though we can communicate and say what we want, there will have to be some strong bond going on within 6 months for me to say yes to that situation. But I'm saying no only because 6 months, I don't know how much you can be tied into a person within 6 months. To each his own, because I know people that meet within 6 months and get married. Not me personally. But to be honest, I say if I'm dating that person, I would say no. I would encourage them to go try to work it out with that person to try to build their family, especially if it's probably their first child.
But why do that? Because a lot of people feel like, okay, well, because you're having a baby with somebody that you're supposed to be with them. Sometimes that's not always true.
That's
and
true.
Some people settle just because they having a baby with somebody. They feel like, oh, I gotta be with this person because I have a baby with them. No, it's like you said, co-parent.
That's true, but I feel like every person should.
But I get the whole thing. Let them try.
Every person should try to make their family work. Because technically, when you're having a baby with someone, whether you're married or not in a relationship or you're broken up, that's technically your family.
Yeah, you're still bonded.
You're still bonded for life because of that child. So I say at the end of the day, I would encourage them to try to make it work. And if they can't make it work, to at least be good co-parents and be there for them. Like, I don't know if I can be dating someone and I'm saying, you know what, go on that doctor visit with her. You know what I'm saying? Go do this.
Right.
I personally, as a woman, I would want that for that person, but I don't see myself dating that person and encouraging. I would love to encourage him to do that because that's what he should be doing. But I can't.
But
see
you'll
myself,
have feelings about it. Like,
I will really have feelings about it. So I would rather take myself out of the equation all in general and say, you know what? Work on that. Whether it's you all not being together, but literally being there for her while she's pregnant. And being there as a person to rely on, a person as a provider and all of that. Because you should still be providing for that woman as long as she's caring for your child in her belly. Not just because the child's physically not here. You should still be providing for her. She still physically has your child within her body. So she should still be taken care of. If she needs to go to a doctor visit, that's something that you should be doing if she doesn't have that help. You should be there every step of the way. Personally. So there's no way that I can be in a relationship with someone because I would literally want them to be there wholeheartedly 100% in with that person while they're pregnant.
But do you know, okay, so it's like a story that was floating around on Instagram where there was a couple. They showed what the guy had a newborn baby. They're married and he had a baby but that baby that was born was with his mistress. Some woman he cheated on his wife with. And crazy part about it, his wife was pregnant and she was getting ready to have their baby. And she accepted it. And this was a black couple.
And I say
and
that
they were young.
To say this. Some people don't let nothing stop their love for one another. Their bond, what they built. Some people doesn't allow that to stop them.
I'm pretty sure it was hard on her, but I guess she kind of like got over it. Maybe, I don't know
it's
the
all
whole
about the
story of it, but yeah. they kind of got through it, and she kind of accepted the baby. So
exactly. So to each his own. Everybody loves differently. Everybody feelings are differently. So at the end of the day, to each his own. So that's what I feel about those two questions. Now we can get into Misha.
Okay.
So what you feeling? So question number 1 about the ex.
What I get back with an ex, like you said, it's like it's kind of hard to say yes and no. Depends on the love that you have for that person. Because off bat, you're gonna probably be like, no. That's the first thing that you're gonna say. No, I can't do it. Blah blah blah. This and that.
I feel like to me that's kind of being selfish too, because you're
like in Issa and Lawrence's situation. So if Max was like that, I was getting with an ex, and then he found out after the fact that me and him was rekindling that he was having a baby, and the girl decided, okay, I'm gonna keep it. I mean, I don't know. I think we would slow things down, and I would want to make sure that, okay, if this is what you want to do, hey, I'm gonna let you do it. But if you feel like, hey, let me see, you know what I'm saying, if me and her have something going on, let's see what I can do. Or you guys both just feel like, hey, that's not gonna happen, we're just gonna be there for the child, then maybe. I don't think I would rush full into trying to be with that person. But I mean, I would kind of like weigh my options. I'm not gonna lie, I probably would weigh my options, like, let's see, and if I can deal with it, if I can't, hey, I gotta go. I mean, I don't know, but that's kind of really hard to say. It's kind of hard to say yes, because think about it, would a guy really date me if he found that, say if I found out I was 3 months pregnant and we had just started talking, would he really want to date me? Most guys probably say no.
Yeah.
Most guys would probably say no, like, because I'm carrying somebody else's. You think he would want to walk around with me? You may have very few men that would say yes. Not all men's gonna say yes. Like, can they deal with me walking around being pregnant and it's not their baby? They know for sure, 1,000% sure that that's not their baby. So that's kind of a question. Hey, would a guy do it? But they expect women to do certain things, and they wouldn't do it either. So I don't know about
another subject though on that one.
Yeah,
boy, that's another topic. We can talk about that all day long.
But
so you say no?
I kind of say right now. I say no. Like, would I or would not? I'm like you. Like, I think I would have to be in that situation. So I don't know. I'm kind of like, I don't know, guys. Don't hold it against me, okay? But a little background. I want to give you all a little background. So when I was younger, I dated this guy. Of course, he's like he's like 2 years under me. We call ourselves being in love, and you know, we wanted a family, quote unquote. We wanted a family, right?
Y'all know how the men do, whispering in your ear, I want to have my baby.
So we planned to have a baby.
Planned?
Yeah. Which I have a daughter out of it. She's about to be 11. So think about it. Okay, so we planned to have this baby. Now, he had already had a child. His son was his son was 3 when I had my daughter. But then this is the crazy part. I'm not going to even go into the full details. Some people know this already. But long story short, I found out after I had my daughter that he had another baby. Now, we already know he had a son. Remember, I said he had a son that's 3 years older than her. And I found out he had another baby the same time I had my baby, right?
Same time.
Same time. Meaning, this is the crazy part. My daughter and his other child, which is a girl, they're actually born on the same day, December 21st, 2009. They have the same birthday. Crazy part, they was born at the same hospital. My daughter was just born maybe some hours or something before her. But yeah. So think about it. I'm young. I'm dating this guy. He's telling me like, oh, let's have a family. I agreed to it because I thought I was in love. Found out he had another baby. So it's just like, hey. And he wanted to work things out. Like, I broke it off and everything because I asked him. He lied to me. Of course, you know, most people would do. He lied to me and everything. When I actually found out that that was his baby. Because for the longest, he kind of told me that that was just his cousin. So why all this information is coming up? So things just wasn't adding right. Like, I pay attention to things. I know things. A lot of times I don't say nothing until maybe a while. So then when I told him, I'm saying, well, I know this is your baby, blah, blah, blah. I broke it off, of course. I'm young. I'm like, I can't be with somebody that's lying to me, got another baby, didn't even tell me the truth, blah, blah, blah. So he wanted to work things out. It took us months before we could even talk to each other. Like, I wouldn't talk to him. because I was so upset. Like, you asked me to have this baby, but then you turn around and have another baby with somebody else, and you knew that was your baby, but you couldn't be honest with me. Which, okay, I understand. So, hey, he wanted to work things out. And I'm just like, I can't do it, because I felt like every time, because I knew if I did it, I had to accept that baby. And that was the hard thing for me. I couldn't accept his other child. And I'm just saying to myself, because I felt like, hey, you cheated on me and made this baby, and then this is the result, and I have to see her all the time as your other child, the person that you cheated on me with, like, and you made this baby. So I couldn't accept this. So I was like, no, I can't be with him. And I left him alone, and I never went back. I never went back.
And the disclaimer, you cannot be in a relationship with someone and not accept their children.
You really can't.
That's something that I'm not willing to do, and I wouldn't let someone do that to me.
I wouldn't either.
So if you can't do that, you need to leave.
Exactly. So I left, and I never looked back. But, you know, I mean, we don't have any animosity towards each other. I mean, that was years ago. Like I said, my daughter's about to be 11. So if I still held on to that, then I mean, there's just something wrong with me, which I let go. I forgave him and everything. So, you know, it is what it is. We all make mistakes in life, but hey, we all learn from something, and that was just a learning situation for me. I had to learn from that. Not saying that it should have happened to me, but hey, it is what it is. Now, the other question is, would I date someone?
Would you date?
Would I date someone?
Would you date?
If I found out they was having a baby? And I'm kind of like with you. Like, I don't think I would, because of the fact that I don't know this person a whole 100%. And then I wouldn't, so it's like I'm not invested in them. So it's like, okay, what if they want to work it out? Let them, he probably needs to figure out what's going on, because of course, if maybe he found out, he might have just found out he was having a baby like Lawrence did. I mean, I don't know. Right. But I just feel like maybe I need to take myself out of that equation as well. And let them figure it out. Maybe he needs to get his stuff together. Like, okay, that's cool. This is what happened. And like I said before, would a guy really date me if they found out I was pregnant? Would you really date me? That's the question I want you guys to answer
in the comment section.
Would you date me or a woman if you found out she was pregnant, she was carrying another woman's baby?
Another man's baby.
Another man's baby, yeah. Would you date that woman?
I'm
very interested in knowing.
I already know what the answers are going to be, but yeah. Be honest too, y'all.
Be honest.
Be honest. Leave it in the comment section down below. Be honest. Maybe that'll be another video. Be honest.
Yeah.
Be honest.
So if you guys like today's video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Follow us on our social medias. And we will do another wind down. This is just the first episode of wind down.
There's many more to come, y'all. Many more to come. If y'all have some suggestions or questions that you all would love for us to talk about on our wind down with us, or some wine suggestions,
please leave that in the comment section
down below, y'all. We like sweet, we like fruity, we like reds. So you know what I'm saying, within that area of wines. Leave it down below. But without further ado, we'll see y'all in our next video. Bye.